Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1971 Winter Baseball Classic Tournament. This is a fun little tournament I've been doing for quite some time before the baseball season starts, considered to be spring training, grapefruit league, cactus league kind of baseball. A couple interesting things about this league. It is just the year of 1971, the first of the 4 years in the timeline that we play in the summer, and then do a lot of scouting. There's a lot of players in this league, of course, that I've never seen before. Some of these cards, they were looked at in the drafts prior and never made it because they weren't very good. This is the last chance for some of these players to make it into the summer league. If you look down here at game number, we're going to be playing game 66 today. I've played a bunch of this tournament already. We'll take just a peek at the overall structure of the tournament. And I played all the round of 7 games necessary to get into a winners and loser bracket. And I played the winner brackets games to get teams with byes. They would be denoted here in the 4 regions. In the Green, Island, Coney Road, and Vancouver Island division, Halifax, HAX, is the #1 seed after that round. In the yellow Sun Belt, in the Georgia, South Carolina, Florida region, you have South Carolina. Charleston, South Carolina is the #2 seed. Out in the Gulf, the Mississippi River region, with Tucson tossed in there because of they had no place to go. Memphis is the #4 seed. Memphis, nice work there. And way out west, we have Team Mexico. Team Mexico playing out of Chula Vista, or any really of those places down near San Diego would be nice. Coronado, Cardiff by the Sea, you get the idea. They all got byes, but we are in the loser brackets, and that's where we're going to start playing baseball, meaning that this series you'll see in this tournament a team will be eliminated. So at the end of the video, you'll see all the cards of the team that got eliminated. I won't be flipping up cards during the game, since you'll see 20 cards at the end of the series. Tonight we're here, New Orleans and Tucson. Great places. New Orleans versus Tucson. Let's see what happened. Well, actually, we can tell you that New Orleans lost to Memphis 4-3 in the best of 7. New Orleans was a 2 seed. Memphis was a 3 seed. So that's a slight upset there. Even worse, Tucson, a #1 seed, lost 4-1 to Mississippi. So both teams have been upset. Let's take a look at what's happened in this New Orleans-Tucson series. Opening up in lovely Tucson. Got a picture here from a Motel 6 out in Tucson from a long time ago. I wonder if I can blow this up really big here so you can see it. I guess you could. Get that out of the way. There you are. There you go. There's a picture from a Motel 6 out in Tucson. I'll be throwing pictures up of these little towns just for fun. Beautiful sky and sunset there. This would have been in 2005, I think. Okay, enough of that. Where were we? Oh yeah, the game. The actual game. Okay, let's get rid of it for a second. So in the game 1 of this best of 5 series, loser goes home. New Orleans at Tucson. Starting pitchers were Jim Lonborg for New Orleans, who is under review, trying to get into the Summer League. He's not in it yet. Against Larry Dierker, whose card is up. This could be the card we select. We don't know. In the second inning, it all falls apart for Lonborg. Singles, walks, a K, a walk, a single. And then a home run here in the third by Ken McMullen, and it's 5-zip. It keeps going this way. A bunch of singles in the 5th inning. RBI single by Popovich. Solo home run by Paul Ratliff, who was a 165 hitter. Not a good day for Jim Lonborg. That's 7 runs. And meanwhile, Dierker's just cruising along here. Gives up a run in the 6th. 7-1 final Tucson. Tucson wins game 1 at home in game 64. So can New Orleans even this thing up in game 2? Let's go take a peek of game 2. Today's pitchers in 2, Mickey Lolich big game Mickey Lolich. Always have great fortune with him versus George Stone. Interesting day for Willie Mays. In the first inning, he led off the game with homer, 1-19. Missed it, got a double. Then in the third inning, he rolled homer 1-16. Missed it, got a double but scored. Got a triple and scored in the fifth. And he singled and scored, knocked in a run, and stole a base in the seventh. Let's just say that Willie Mays owns Mickey Lolich on this particular day. Final score is Tucson wins this thing 4-2. And New Orleans is in the unenviable position of having to win 3 straight games, or they go home and figure out something else to do through the rest of spring training. This fun little tournament is sort of like Grapefruit League, Cactus League baseball meets March Madness in college basketball. Or perhaps the NIT. Maybe that would be even better. Something like that. A little low-key thing action here. So, yeah. Let's go right here. Game 3. We are in New Orleans for Game 3. Another nice little picture here for you. This is a St. Louis Cemetery #1 picture. I can get this a little bit bigger. You know, for you folks here. Well, maybe not. Okay. Some other time. All right. So today's pitchers. In Game 3, Tucson on the road now will send Jim Perry. Jim Perry was 17-17 with a 4.23 in 1971 for the Twins. He has better cards. His card is up for Cleveland. We think he'll take the 74, where he's a teammate of his brother, Gaylord Perry. Now for New Orleans, they're going to send Don Sutton to the mound. And Sutton was 17-12 with a 2.55 ERA in 71. But if you've been following the Summer League, Sutton's 72 card is already in that league, so we don't really need an evaluation of Don Sutton. He's just playing to get some work in. No evaluation is necessary. Let's get started. New Orleans, win or go home. Win 3 straight to continue. Leading off for Tucson, it will be the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. 2-5 is a K. Bernie Allen, 34, rolls to first. And Ron Fairley, 1-7 is a K. Bottom of 1 for New Orleans. It'll be Carlos May. 47, single 1-12. He misses it, rolls an 18. Batting second is Ron. I'm going to get you on a Swoboda China. Ron Swoboda, 49, single 1. He lines out. Maybe we need to get Lucille Ball or Desi Arnaz to sing that one. Ralph Garr, 54, bounces to short. Shortstop Popovich is a 3E26. And he makes the play. We go to the second inning. It's Ken McMullen. 2-6 for McMullen is a base hit. Darrell Evans, 37 is a K. Ollie Brown, 64 off the Sutton card. Triple 1-2-5 double is a double on a 6. McMullen, 11 runner, will not take on McBarry. So you got second and third, 1 out. Popovich, they'll play back. 68, single 1-4 off of Sutton, and he lines out on the 12. And with 2 outs, it's Paul Ratliff, and he strikes out. A couple guys reach, they don't score. Bottom of the second, it's Davey Johnson. 2-4, rolls to short. Tom Haller, 38, is a base hit. Aurelio Rodriguez, 55, skies the center field, and with 2 outs, it's Rich Reese. 36 for Rich is double 1-2, base hit. Runners on the corners for Ken Berry. He rolls back to the mound. We go to the third. It's Bill Russell. 2-10, rolls to the pitcher. Willie Mays, coming off that big game 2. 59, rolls to short. Matchick, Tom Matchick's a 40-48 at short. That's not very good, is it? But he makes the play on this fourness. Nice break there. Bernie Allen, 67 is a single. And with 2 outs, Ron Fairley, 57, is a strikeout. Bottom of the third. It's Tom Matchick, 46, walks. Carlos May, 1-6, 4-6-3, double play. Man. Boy, this New Orleans team is not doing a darn thing. They're a better team. So they have, it's Lolich, Don Sutton, Rudy May, Jim Lomborg, got Jack Aker, John Marsh in the pen, and they got Carlos May with a nice year, Ralph Garr hitting 340, Davey Johnson with a nice year. There's a lot to like about New Orleans. Tucson, Jim Perry with an off year, Durker with an off year, Stone with an off year, a bullpen of Ron Tompkins, Ken Brett, Tom Termin, Eddie Fisher isn't very good. Jim Wynn on the bench with a bad year, Danny Cater, the top hitter on the team on the bench with a 276 batting average. Nobody hits better than 276. Bill Russell 220, Ratliff 165, Popovich 227. It doesn't matter, folks. Tucson's up 2-0. Ron Swoboda China, 63. Skies it in the left field. This is Russell. Oh, he's a 1E11 in left field. He makes the grab. Top of the fourth. Ken McMullen, 45, rolls to second. Darrell Evans, 59, bounces to short. This is Matic, again, a 40-48, and he's made 2 plays in the field. And with 2 outs, Ollie Brown, 48, flies to center. Not much offense at all against Perry and Sutton. Pitching like their vintage styles. Ralph Garr, 33, pops to short. I believe Jim Perry would have come off back-to-back 20-win seasons in 69 and 70, I believe. And now he's a 17-game winner in 71. Davey Johnson, 69. Triple on a 13 double. That's a 2-base hit. We got something going here in the fourth. Tom Haller, future Dodgers catcher, 65, second X. Bernie Allen at second base is a 4E37. Here's your big chance. And there it is, a single ... off the second baseman. We have a run, and New Orleans has a 1-0 lead. The original A-Rod, 54, Aurelio Rodriguez, skies it in the center X. Willie Mays testing his defense. He's like 50 years old. Now, it's amazing how he plays center field till he's 40, with great range and arm. So he comes up as a 2-2 E11 in the year of 71. And he makes the catch. And with 2 outs, it's Rich Reese, 48, flies right. We go to the 5th. Popovich, 1-7, rolls to first. Paul Ratliff, 5-10, catcher's card. Tom Haller's a 3E16, makes the play. And Bill Russell, 58, second X. I think it's his future teammate, Sutton. Johnson's a 2E14, and he makes the play. Don Sutton with a 3-hitter through 5. Let's go to the bottom half, but first let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay, bottom of the 5th of a 1-0 game. It is Ken Berry, 69. Oh, he hit this roll again. Triple on a 13 double. That's the same thing Davey Johnson did in the previous inning. But he gets the triple on this one. He's at third. They got to bring it up for Tom Matic. 2-10 short. Runner holds because they brought the infield up. Carlos May, 57. Another triple chance off the Perry card against a lefty. It's triple 1-11 on a 7. Ouch. Triple 1-11, single ... That is a triple on the roll of a 7 off a pitcher's card. Little scouting. I'm not taking this Jim Perry card in the Summer League. Sorry. It ain't going to happen. All right, they're going to bring the infield up with 1 out and a 2-0 game, runner at third for Swoboda. 1-5, double 1-5, single ... It is a single, and now New Orleans is rolling finally in the series as the favorite, down 0-2. Can they come back with rip-off 3 straight wins? Sure. Anything can happen in a zany series like this. Ralph Garr, 2-7, third B+. That's the fielder's choice. 2 outs. Garr's an ace stealer. He's going to take off against Ratliff. He's safe at second base with a stolen base. And Davey Johnson, 1-11, rolls to third. Okay, it's 3-0. Seems like it's 10-0, but yeah, it's just the 3-0 game. Tucson can come back and get a sweep. We'll have to start soon, though. Here is Willie Mays. 4-4 off Sutton is third X. Third baseman is A-Rod. He's a 1-18. He's a 1 through the whole decade pretty much. He makes the play. Most of the decade. Some guy named Brooks Robinson, he would have had a few more gold gloves. Bernie Allen, 47. It's okay. Ron fairly well. 2-7. Rolls to third. Sutton's cruising. Bottom of the 6th. Perry's the starter 7. We'll give him a little bit of a leash here. Up 2-0 in the series. Tom Haller, 69. Jim Perry, 69. That's an automatic home run. I can tell you the card. It's a homer on 10 and 9. A 1-6 chance on 8 and a triple to 11 on a 7. Yeah, you don't want that in Summer League. A-Rod, 5'11". First X. Fairley's a 2E13. Let's see, 2E13. And a cheap single off of 2 first baseman. It is not going Tucson's way today. Rich Reese, 65, second X. Bernie Allen again, 40-37, and that's another single. It's rapidly falling apart here in the 6th inning for Jim Perry. Ken Berry, 1-7, flies to center. With 1 out, Matic, 2-9, fielder's choice. Runner goes to third. Runners on the corners with 2 outs for Carlos May, who strikes out. All right, with a big 4-0 lead, wasting a lot of base runners, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 11 base runners for just 4 runs. If you have some defense, you should probably use it. You need to win this game or it's over. So they're going to put Larry Brown at shortstop for Matic. That's about it defensively that they can do. Yeah, that's about it. Okay. All right, Sutton's got a better shortstop now and a 4-run lead and needs 9 outs for the shutout. It'll be Ken McMullen in the 7th. 1-6. Here we got Homer 1-6, fly ball the rest, and we got the rest. Another break for Sutton. Darrell Evans. 1-3. Darrell Evans, 1-3 is gone. That is a home run. For 1971, Darrell Evans with 242 with 12 homers and 300 plate appearances. But we have a 73 card in the league where he's got 41 home runs. So we're not going to use this Darrell Evans card, but it's 4-1. Ollie Brown, 57 is a K. Paul Popovich, 38 is a pop to second base. Stretch time here in New Orleans of a 4-1 game. We are enjoying listening to Dr. John's Gree Walk on Gilded Splinters LP of 1968. His Gumbo Yaya Mamaroo thing happening here in New Orleans. I don't know where they built the stadium yet. I guess the Superdome's not built yet. Maybe, I don't know. Okay. Bottom of the 7th here in New Orleans. 4-1 lead. They want to get their first of 3 wins, they hope. Leading off, Swoboda, 3-11. Flies a 8. Ralph Garr, 45. Rolls a short X. This is Popovich, is a 326. Makes the play. And with 2 outs, Davy Johnson, 5-10. Lines the first. We'll go to the 8th of a 4-1 game. And Tucson, man, they could rally here and steal this thing. It's only 3 runs. Seems like more. Paul Ratliff, 1-5 is a K. Bill Russell, 2-8 is a pop to short. And with 2 outs, it is Willie Mays, 63. Pitcher X, and Sutton is a E10. And he makes the play. Don Sutton doing his stuff. Of course, the only way you can score off of Sutton is a solo homer. That's always been the trouble with pitchers like him and Seaver. You know, they give up the long ball, but not much else. Catfish Hunter, another one. All right, we're going to get Perry the rest of the day off. Eddie Fisher. This is another evaluation. Really nice pitcher Eddie Fisher is in 71 with the Angels. 10-8 with a 2.72 ERA. 119 innings out of the bullpen. So I'm getting an evaluation of him. I like his card, and it's probably the best card he'll have as his career is coming to an end soon anyway. Tom Haller, 49, double 1 single. A-Rod, 1-8, single 1 and 19 single. 2 on, Rich Reese, 53, left X. Bill Russell, though, is a 1E11 in left field. makes the catch. Ken Berry 1-6 is a 6-4-3 double play. So 4-1 game into the 9th. Now I'm going to pull Sutton, and you know, if this was a very competitive game, I might let him go for a complete game. But I'm trying to do some evaluation, and I'm not getting anything out of Sutton since I'm not going to use this card. I'm going to stick with the 72 card in my league. But I got Jack Aker as a closer, and I'm going to bring him in. Jack Aker, 4-4 with a 2.57 ERA with the New York Yankees and 56 innings in 1971. And Aker was acquired by the Chicago White Sox in the offseason, and the White Sox are watching to see how good he does in this little tournament. This will probably be the White Sox closer this summer, Jack Aker. So let's see how he does here in the Winter Baseball Classic. In the 9th, leading off, it's Bernie Allen. 37 is a walk. Ron Fairley, 47 off of Aker. Single 1-2-6, lines that on a 12. That helps. Ken McMullen, 47, against a righty, single to left field. And just like that, the lowly Tucson squad, well, the up 2 games to 0 presently, has the tying run come to the plate in the 9th inning. As the New Orleans team was wasted a shrimp boatload of gumbo base runners. And yeah, Darrell Evans, who homered in the 7th inning, is your tie run. And the White Sox are thinking, maybe we shouldn't use Aker as a closer. Who knows? So here we go. 2 on, 1 out. Darrell Evans. And here's the pitch. 1-5. This is a walk. And this is not what New Orleans wanted. They wanted an easy day because they have to win 3 games. And they're having a hard time winning this one. The bases are loaded, 1 out. They're going to play back. They can still get a double play here. Ollie Brown is your hitter. They will play it back for Ollie. Here is the pitch. 1-7 for Ollie Brown. We're dinging all the columns, checking them all off. Base hit into center field. That scores Allen. They're going to go station to station. No reason to get thrown out with 1 out already in the 9th. It's a 4-2 game, and you got the tie run in scoring position. And you got Paul Popovich up. Now, Popovich doesn't scare anybody. Look, folks, Popovich is 217, Ratliff it's 165, and Bill Russell it's 227. So I have no idea why this Tucson team is even hanging around, but they are. So you get the bases loaded with 1 out. Popovich has power, too, by the way. The pitch to Paul Popovich. 2-5 is a liner to second. And with 2 outs, it is Paul Ratliff. Interesting card. Well, not that interesting. He hit 165. However, he had 85 at-bats and had 5 home runs in 85 at-bats. Doesn't do him justice as they curbed the homer potential in this card. It doesn't look like a guy who would hit 30 home runs in a full season or more. He's got homers on 11 and 12 in the 2 and 3 column and a 1-7 on 10. Again, I'll show all the cards of the series loser at the end of the video. That's why I'm not doing it now. But with the bases loaded and 2 outs, no better moment than now for Paul Ratliff. And here is the pitch. 34 is a fly ball to right field. That'll end the game, and Aker survives a shaky 9th inning. And New Orleans has won 4-2. Home team has won the first 3 games. So Aker does get a shaky save, giving up 2 hits, a run, and 2 walks. Sutton gets the win. 4 hits, 1 solo home run, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Eddie Fisher gave up 2 hits, had a double play help him. Jim Perry was pretty, blah. 10 hits, 4 runs. Everything was earned, a walk, and just 1 strikeout. 1019, 0108, 41226. 2811. That was game number 3. We'll take a look really quickly here at the tournament box to this point. See how these players are doing in a very abbreviated sample here. And Tucson was playing worse than New Orleans before this thing started. They kind of flipped misery. So New Orleans finally gets a much-needed win. So through the tournament, both teams are next to each other. Here we go. New Orleans is now 4-6 in the tournament. Tucson is 3-5 in the tournament. Tucson up 2-1. Is hitting .220, but they got a .235 ERA. As Jim Perry, Larry Dierker, and George Stone have pitched magnificent. And the back end, Ken Brett and Ron Tompkins have not been scored on. So good pitching for a pretty lackluster Tucson squad. Meanwhile, New Orleans is hitting .248 with a .366 ERA. We're hoping for a little bit better pitching and a little bit better hitting, and haven't had it. Don't blame Ralph Garr, though, because in 10 games he has 17 hits. He's 17 for 38. So, yeah, don't blame him for New Orleans failing to this point. So we will play a game 4 and 5 if necessary, and at the end of the video, we will go through the elimination of the losing team and look at those cards. So thanks for checking this out. We'll see you at the end of the video. All right, welcome back, baseball fans. The team that was eliminated was Tucson. They lost 3 straight. That game you saw, they lost 2 more. No need to go through all the details, it's, you know, but they lost 3 games to 2, so we're eliminating them. They finished the tournament with 3 wins, 7 losses. These are the stats in the abbreviated little tournament there. Again, the stats don't matter too much unless there's something really catches my eye that's significant. They would have Ollie Brown had a nice little tournament, I guess, 316. Interesting player. And then nothing else hitting did very well. Willie Mays at 229, but he had 9 walks and a 386 on base percentage, and his card's up. We'll see that graph in a momentarily. And then you've got Ron Tompkins. He's the only card in the bunch that has not been in the league yet, and he did okay. Didn't give up anything. Got a couple saves, so that's interesting. Dierker got knocked around. Let's now take a peek here at the Tucson stats of the individual players of 1971 coded. The blue are keepers. The yellow are waivers. The green means that that particular player is already in the summer league in the year of 72, 3, or 4. And if you see the bottom line, Ron Tompkins, the colorless white row, means that he's not been in the league yet. So with that, and those are the stats. These are the actual stats of 1971 here. Hitters at the top 12, and the pitchers, and then you see OPS is highlighted in a dark green, mustard green, and WHIP is highlighted. So I mean, I've got this information to look at, but let's just look at the cards now. Here we are. Here is Tucson's card stack, and it's very easy as I look at the graph. I know the 4 players they got off of waivers are Bacabella, Cater, Popovich, and Ratliff. Here's Bacabella, and he is pretty, as you can see, pretty ordinary. And I didn't really learn much about him. I don't think he's that particularly interesting. Here's Paul Ratliff. Had 5 home runs and 85 at-bats, but they didn't give him a lot on his card. That's okay. That's a decent amount, but otherwise it's pretty forgettable. Now, Popovich is an interesting case where he's a 2 second baseman, a switch hitter, and can play all the infield positions. But look at it, the nice against lefties. Look at all that power. I think he gets into the league on waivers. And then the 4th guy is Cater, who has better years with average and power than this. This is like the porridge that Goldilocks ate. He doesn't have power or average. But he's in 72 or 3 or 4, he does better stuff. So those 4 players, maybe this is why they lost. All the guys they got off the waiver in the WBC draft weren't very good. Then you have the keepers. Eddie Fisher is a keeper of the California Angels, and this guy, nice little card here for a long man. Could be one of the better long mans in the game. Doesn't put a lot of guys on. And he's got a 2.72 ERA. Here's Bernie Allen. He's running out of juice, but the juice he has in one way is better than it's been, for what that's worth. I think he goes from being a 266 hitter to a 254 hitter. But there's no more defense. He's barely clinging on to a spot in Major League Baseball at this point. But in a one-way platoon, I like the walks on 5 there. In a one-way platoon, you could use Allen, and he is the property of Texas. Ollie Brown is up for the Padres, but he doesn't have power against lefties this year. I don't think it's going to work. No, he's got a great throwing arm, always did, but I don't think that lack of power against lefties, that's not going to work. I mean, he didn't hit a homer against lefties. That's not going to work for a corner outfielder. And here's the Willie Mays card. This will get into the league. It's his last good year in 71. He was with the Giants, by the way. You see there. But this was a fun, I mean, look at all the walks. And look at the defense for a guy who's 40 years old or 41 years old. He's a 2 with a -2 arm. Unbelievable. Ace stealer, property of the Mets. They got him early from the Giants instead of waiting till he was past his prime. And then Jim Wynn, not this year. He is property of Houston. Houston has just learned that you don't want this Jim Wynn card because he doesn't even have power against lefties and he hits about 203. Bad year for Jimmy Wynn. Don't take this card. And Jim Perry, this is the pitcher in the game you saw. Look at that. Look at the extra homers and triples against lefties. You don't want this one either. Which brings us to guys who are already in the league. And do I go back to their 71 card? In the case of Timmerman, I'm going to go through these quickly. Nope. Ken Brett, no, because he's a starter 8, I believe, now. George Stone, maybe. He's got a 3.59 ERA and 173 innings here. We got a future card of his. We got a 70. The Mets have a 73 card, I think. Durker is in a future year, so we don't need him either. Kekich, I'm sure his ERA is above 4, right? It usually always is. So the 1 year his ERA is below 4 is on the Yankees. Darrell Evans and his 40-some homers in 1973 are with Atlanta, so we don't need him. Now, Fairley has his 74 card, I think, in play. You get the same performance out of this card, which is a nice card. That's a nice one there for Fairley. But it's 257 with 13 homers. No reason to go back to this card. Ken McMullen, all the production's on the right side here. Good defense, always had it, but that's bad. And Bill Russell, interesting, he's a switch hitter in this particular instance here, but he's a 4 shortstop, a great corner outfielder. I don't know why you would need a corner outfielder who gives you no production, just great defense. So you really want him to play shortstop more than you want him to play outfield at this point. And the last Tucson player, the only guy who has not been in the league yet, is this gentleman, Ron Tompkins. Now, he just showed he could close games out, and he is good enough to get into the Summer League. After looking at it closely, I'm really happy with what he does against left-handed pitching. No homers, 4 and 5 are extra base hits, 6 is an out, then you got walks. So that's pretty darn good. And against righties, the out on 7, single 1 of 6 is nice. Gives us some home runs, but no big deal. Relief 2. This is how you get on the radar. I never knew about this guy. This is his 4th year of availability for the draft. He hasn't made it yet. It's his 4th and final time. And remember, again, like I always say, these WBC guys, if you sign them, they're only going to be on your team for 1 year. Then their career ends. So Tompkins is probably only, I think he was a Cub. So he was a Cub, yeah. 4.05 ERA, 40 innings. So Tompkins could get into the Summer League. And that'll do it for eliminating the Tucson team. And we'll do more of these eliminations with the other squads as the tournament continues. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.